Good morning, grade 3. Today we are going to start a new block. We are starting block 8. Okay, living and non living things. Okay, uh, I know that you all actually know what is a living thing and a non living thing. Okay, so today we are going to learn what are the features. When I say the word features, you might be thinking, what is that word? Features means when you say something more about an object. Okay, for example, um, what are the features about you? You have two hands, two legs, two eyes, one nose, one mouth. These are your features. What are the features of a bird? A bird has feathers, a bird has beak, a bird has two legs. What are the features of an animal? It has some animals have four legs, a tail. Some animals don't have any legs. They just slither on the ground. So these are called features. When you tell me something more about an object, okay. Now, uh, we are going to learn the features of living and non-living things. This will help you to actually differentiate between what are living things and what are non-living things. So, getting back to our topic, I have a bunch of flowers with me, and by looking at the color, you know that these are artificial flowers, okay? Something which you get in the market. Now, I have a potted plant with me. You can see the soil and you can actually see the green leaves. Now, I have a question for you. I have both of these plants with me. I keep both of them at home. Now, tell me, do I take care of both of them in the same way? Like if I'm watering this plant, do I have to water this? Or if I always keep this in the sun, do I need to keep this artificial plant in this under the sun? Or sometimes I change the soil for this. Do I need to keep this flower in the sun? So, what do you think? How do you think I'm actually taking care of both of these plants? So, the reasons are very obvious. For this artificial plant, I don't have to do anything. I just bought it from the market and it's there in a vase. That's it. Sometimes I take it and I just clean off the dust. That's it. That's the only care that this plant needs. Okay, and the reason is that it is a non-living plant. It will not grow, it will not get any extra flowers. These flowers are not going to die. It does not need any soil, it does not need sunlight, it does not need water. Okay, now look at this plant. Do you think that if I give the same treatment to this is going to live? If I just keep it in a corner of the house, if I don't water it, if I don't take care of the soil, or if I don't give it proper sunlight, do you think this is going to live? No, because this is a living thing. It's a plant, it grows. Okay, it grows actually. It has roots in it. I have to water it every 2 or 3 days. I need to make sure that it gets proper sunlight. Only then this plant will grow. So now you know that uh, I have this and I also have this. Both are plants, but then this is non-living, this is living. So the way we take care of living things and non-living things is completely different. So some of the features of living things are, um, you yourself are a living thing, so we don't even need any other object. To give you an example, right, you are a living thing, I am a living thing. So some of the common features of living things are: living things uh, grow. When you were born, when I was born, I was born as a baby. We are all actually born as babies, and then we start growing eventually, right? We are able to sit at 6 months. By 1 year or 1.5 year, we are able to walk and run. And then as we grow older, as we are 2 years old, 3 years old, 4 year old, our height increases, our organs also develop, and our body also becomes big. Think about yourself when you were in grade 2. When you were in grade 2, do you think you remain the same now? No, I don't think so. Most of you have become a little tall, okay? So this is a proof that you are actually growing your living things, right? Compared to that, non-living things, they don't grow. Look at the chair, table and bed in your house. Are they growing actually? No, come on, they don't grow. They are at the same height, okay? They don't grow, and then they don't need any kind of care. Now, living things, the second feature, living things, they need food. Okay, now without food, you know it very well that food gives us energy to talk, work, do everything that we are doing. That's why you have a kitchen, that's why you have to eat food. Now think about this. Do you take the food and you go and feed it to the tables and chairs? When you keep the food in your plate, the plate eats it, or you're the one eating it? You're the one eating it, right? The plate does not need any food because it's a non-living thing. So living thing, just like this plant, living things need food. Okay, uh, you need to, all living things, whether it's plants, animals, or human beings, we need food so that we can grow properly. Compared to that, non-living things, they do not need any food. Okay, because they don't grow, so they don't need food. Now the third feature will be living things, they can breathe. You can breathe, I can breathe, animals can breathe, even plants can breathe. We learned in block 1, right, that the leaves have tiny holes which are called stomata. Through this stomata, plants can actually breathe. Okay, keep this in mind. So we know that plants, animals, or human beings, we are all living things, so we need to breathe. When we breathe, we are actually taking in oxygen so that our organs can function properly. Compared to that, non-living things, they don't need oxygen, they don't need to breathe. Okay, now the fourth feature that I'm going to talk about is living things can reproduce. Okay, the word may seem mm, a little tough for you, but look at you. Your parents gave birth to you, right? Your mother gave birth to you. That is reproduction. Okay, that is reproduction. Seeds, when I plant a seed, it grows into a new plant. That is reproduction, nothing else. Animals, if you have dogs, or if your dog has given birth, or if your cat has given birth, they will give birth to babies. That is reproduction. When we give birth to our young ones, it's called reproduction. Okay, so you were born, your parents, your mother gave birth to you, that is reproduction. Do you see your chairs or tables giving birth to smaller chairs and tables? No, they don't do that, because they are non-living things. Non-living things do not reproduce. If I keep a pencil in a drawer for 10 years, it's still going to remain as one pencil. I'm not going to suddenly find three more smaller pencils than that, because they don't reproduce. It's just living things that reproduce. Plants reproduce, animals reproduce, human beings reproduce. Okay, now the fifth feature that I'm going to tell you is a little bit different, because we will learn later in the block why is it different. Plants, living things can move on their own. Okay, living things can move on their own. Compared to that, uh, non-living things, they cannot. Now think about this. uh, Me, you, or the animals around us, they move by their own. They don't need anyone's help. We don't need anyone's help. We have legs, we have hands, we can move, we can go wherever we want to go. But compared to that, if I need to move my bed from this corner of the room to that corner, I will have to carry the bed and then keep it in that corner, because it cannot move by its own. Okay, so for today, regarding movement, I'm going to stop here, because later in the block we'll go a little bit more detail that even non-living things can move. Okay, but not exactly on their own. They need the help of something to move them. Okay, so for now you can just know that living things can move, non-living things cannot move. So what are the features that we have learned? We have learned that living things need food, living things can grow, living things can breathe, and living things can reproduce or give birth to babies, and living things can move. Okay, so now uh, and non-living things cannot do any of this. They don't need food, they cannot breathe, they never grow, and they cannot move on their own. Okay, now two things I say that okay, so a pen, if I tell you about a pen and a piece of stone, so both of them are non-living things. Okay, both of them are non-living things, right? Now can you tell me that uh, Even though they are non-living things, they're still different in some way. The difference is that non-living things can be of two types. One is natural, it exists in nature from before, like mountains or stones or rocks. And the other one is man-made. For example, tables, chairs, pen, pencil, erasers, they are all non-living things, but they are all found in, they are all made by humans, okay, by men. Okay, so I hope you understood this block, and um, I hope you're able to do your worksheet well. Bye bye.